The brave robbers made a quick escape, guided by their external alerts, dodging police cars like a scene from an action movie and breezing through the police blockade. They drove the armoured truck to a suburban base, escaping like in Fast Escape. Subtitle, however, Boss Melliman disliked Baldy shooting during escape. It's no shooting game. He cautiously told Baldy to return, swap stealthily, and see who would take over this farce. If this caper was classified as a major case, they'd be in for some serious trouble, and hearing that his guy Donnie removed all the trackers, Melliman couldn't wait to open the door. But to his dismay, the armoured car was empty. Just like Melliman feared, Sheriff Nick had taken the case into his own hands. Nick immediately realized that this crew was no ordinary band of robbers, more like experts targeting the subway. Surprisingly, the robbers took an empty vehicle. Are they filming a sequel or something? Melliman was as nervous as a rabbit at the sight of Nick. After checking Nick's background, he realized this guy played by his own rules. The rival gangster had already bitten the dust in Nick's hands. After finishing his investigation, he started analyzing the case with his crew, aiming straight at those armored cash trucks. Such antics needed at least 3 or 4 people working together, and with 0 clues left behind, it was clear this wasn't their first rodeo. At this moment, a photo of Melliman was pulled out, surrounded by his veteran buddies. He had recently been involved in a stadium heist. Are you working? Of course I am. Sig is busy, send him over. That night, Nick disguised himself as a customer at the bar where Donnie worked, However, Donnie had already seen the shots by Baldy and was as tight-lipped as a vault. Nick was certain Donnie had something up his sleeve. An hour later, as Donnie started his car, Nick sprang out of nowhere, hitting him with a punch of electric fury, leaving Donnie dazed, and when he finally woke up, he found himself in a hotel room, where Nick was partying with strippers. Definitely not your typical investigation scene. Donnie played dumb, claiming he was just a bar staff. Someone must have misidentified him. What are you doing? No, I'll never let you make a mistake. Yeah, I'll be a clever jerk. These cops are more rogue than thugs. Nick seemed to know it all, so Donnie stammered that he'd only seen Melliman a few times at the bar. Nick warned him that if he didn't confess, he'd be on the receiving end of a necklock, to which Donnie still defended himself. Whose crew are you with? Melliman's. What are you talking about? What are you doing now? Playing mahjong. Faced with Nick's death threat, Donnie reluctantly admitted he was Melliman's driver, just the guy who drove. It was merely because Melliman didn't trust him, assigning him the driving duty. As for why they'd rob an empty truck, that was anyone's guess. A few months back, Buddy Boss introduced Baldy to Donnie, and with the mention of a cash truck, Donnie jumped at the chance. Needing money, he agreed without hesitation. Days later, Baldy took him to Melliman, but he had to pass a test first to join. The two arrived at the port, and Donnie said, "Let's roll. I want to get that chair loaded." With no response from Melliman, Donnie floor-pedaled it and drifted past the truck wall. Even Melliman had to buckle up. A series of rapid drifts earned Donnie Melliman's immediate respect. A week later, he took part in their first job, leaving the stadium heist with nearly $1 million sharing his killing, but Melliman didn't share with the little guys. Melliman planned to use that cash for a big score, and word had it he was plotting an even bigger cave for such a schemer. Nick decided to keep Donnie on edge while maintaining contact. Just as he hopped on the bus home, Melliman made a mysterious call, perfect timing. Bright and early the next day, Melliman and Baldy picked up Donnie, pointing to the right. "Look, that's our target. The Federal Reserve Bank of Los Angeles, the ultimate vault, security tighter than anyone's grandma's hog. All the streets around had cameras, and if you loiter more than 2 minutes, security would gently escort you away. But if you got caught, you'd face heavy security scrutiny, and if you stepped into the lobby, it was straight to ID. The system would instantly connect online. Even an unpaid ticket could expose you, and the vault was down underground, monitored by cameras and motion sensors. Outsiders had no chance of hiding. Even if someone managed to snatch some cash, all bills were marked online. If spotted again, the police would find you in no time. However, it stores the most dollars globally, with $500 minus 800 billion passing through daily. Once the bank sent the cash here, it was immediately verified with machines and then sorted automatically. Staff deleted the serial numbers from the system. Soon after, the assorted old bills were immediately destroyed, with at least $300 million in used bills getting the chop every day. "Please hand over the cash," then repeated. "Please hand over the cash. We have $3 billion, and no one is after surveying the area." Donnie promptly followed Melliman's orders, applying for a delivery job at a Chinese restaurant near the Meanwhile, through continuous surveillance, Nick and his crew finally traced Melliman's gang connections, giving off major old gang vibes. Not only were they all seasoned ex-Marine fighters, but they also had ties to the local soccer team. Records showed similar heists happened before 6, but after that, it was a quiet decade. A few months back, once Melliman emerged from prison, armed robberies recurred, leading many to suspect she was the culprit. Days later, Melliman obtained the bank's interior blueprint, confirmed no backup power, and had 2 minutes to move old cash after a blackout. Of course, an EMP for interference is essential. Blueprints done, time to act.